Thank you so much, viewers, and thank you so much, my brother, for having me here. My name is Dr. Musa Lumumba, El Nasur, a son of Uganda, born and raised in Lucia. I'm a medical officer, a medical doctor by profession. Born of a Samia father, the late Gabriel Malagiro Nduso, and a Musoga mother, Mutesa Aziza. So that is who I am.
Everyone now has known who you are, that you are a doctor by profession. And currently in Uganda, everyone is aware that doctors are earning a lot since government has given you priority. Now there is a question. What is inspiring you to join politics and contesting for a seat that you are vying for?
Thank you so much. That doctors are earning a lot. And so probably the question is, why am I leaving medical practice to go into leadership?
Yes.
The fact is, His Excellency the President enhanced salaries for scientists, including doctors. And so I must thank His Excellency the President, retired General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for having thought about scientists and doctors, as well as other health workers, nurses, midwives, pharmacists, laboratory technicians, to have their salaries enhanced, which is commensurate to the kind of work they do. And of course, you know that there is no price tag on saving a life. We've had people with billions of money even flown outside the country and they die. But also we have people who have not had any amount of money and have been saved in Uganda. And whether you're in India, whether you're in South Africa, whether you're in Israel, whether you're in UK, wherever you are, money cannot save you. It's only the targeted interventions of doctors and of course with the help of God that lives can be saved. So I don't take it for granted. And as Ugandan doctors and health workers, we should applaud His Excellency the President for having enhanced our salaries. So the reason why I'm coming into leadership is not that I've not been in leadership. Lumumba has always been a leader since primary, since secondary. If you went to Kakungu Memorial School, they tell you of the Straight Talk Club. I founded the Straight Talk Club because I saw that we were losing some of our brothers and sisters to teenage pregnancies. And so we came up with the Straight Talk Club to educate ourselves on the dangers of early pregnancies, including HIV, unsafe abortions, other sexually transmitted infections like gonorrhea and syphilis, but also most importantly, school dropping out. Because most schools, when you get pregnant, you are pushed out of school. So Musa has been that kind of person. Even at university, even during internship, you remember that I was the president of the Federation for Uganda Medical Interns. To mobilize mobilize medical interns to be in position to offer healthcare that serves the needs of the majority of Ugandans in whatever hospitals we were, but also to ensure that our welfare was being cared for. You might have seen me being arrested, fighting for the medical interns and all health workers at large, and you might have seen me working with the president, having interventions with the president, taking medical interns after our internship to Chankwanzi for the National Leadership Institute, a training in patriotism and leadership development. Now, if you're being trained in patriotism and leadership development, are you being trained to sit, or you're being trained to be a leader? Lumumba here, I've served in the Global Fund as an African Youth Advisor for Africa. I've served in the UN as an African NGO delegate for Africa for 3 years in Geneva and New York. I've been in Geneva several times as a leader. So being a medical doctor is just a profession because you need to have some qualification. Yeah, unfortunately, I have a qualification to save lives. So the reason why I'm coming into leadership is to make sure that other Lumumbas out there are able to save lives with the necessary tools and resources in their respective hospitals. But most importantly, I'm a youth. I'm coming to ensure that the young people see reason as to why they should support the NRM government increasingly, because you can see that there is a lot of disconnection between the president and the young people, and yet His Excellency the President goes out day and night spreading socio-economic transformation of our country. making sure that people have got money. Now he's giving monies at parish level through PDM to ensure that people at parish level have got money to transform themselves. We are now talking about the money economy. His Excellency has put monies at districts through youth livelihood fund and so on and so forth to ensure that young people have got some money to put into action the ideas they have to transform themselves, transform their families, transform this country. So I'm coming in to ensure that I bridge the gap between the president, His Excellency the President, General Kaguta Museveni, and the young people. Now looking at the young people in the East as my basis, but also going to, the wider Uganda, because Uganda, we are one. Whether in the East, whether in Central, whether you're in Northern Uganda, whether you're in Karamoja, whether you're in the West, whether you are, wherever you are, we are one person. So what affects the young person in Eastern Uganda as well affects another young person in Buganda or Central Region, as well as Western, as well as Karamoja. And so as young leaders, we need to come out, support His Excellency, make sure that the policies and programs that are put forward by the NRM government are reaching the people who need them. So this time, I'm challenged that I'm a doctor who is coming in with a life-saving background to make sure that young people in this country expose the NRM increasingly and are able to work with His Excellency in 2026 to ensure that His Excellency wins with a very big margin. That's why I'm coming.
You look to be a potential candidate, and say like in Busia where you come from, residents, I assume that residents of Busia would have been with much hope to see you there, Member of Parliament, representing them. What prompted you to maybe opt to go in and in Eastern to vie for Vice Chairperson NRM in Eastern Region instead of contesting for parliamentary seat or LC5?
Thank you so much. Very many people have asked me that question. Why aren't you Lumumba going to Parliament? They said go into SEC. Lumumba, like I've told you, I've been at the UN level. And I've been at multilateral finance agency level, which is the Global Fund. And at that level, I've interfaced with ministers, I've interfaced with heads of states, the presidents. Really, my first time to meet His Excellency the President was in New York on 21st September 2017. In New York. I had never met His Excellency here in Uganda, but I had a chance to meet him with the position that I was holding at that time. So it's not about going to Parliament, but it's about going where decisions are made. In Uganda, SEC is the most strategic space we have in the NRM. And you know that Uganda as a country is led by the NRM government, headed by His Excellency General Kaguta Museveni, General of the Resistance. So it means that what happens in SEC vibrates in cabinet, and what happens in cabinet influences decisions in parliament. So I'm going where decisions are made to benefit the young people, to benefit women, to benefit elderly, to benefit veterans and people in business. Decisions are being made in SEC. That's where we go. I mean, SEC, you're seated with maximum 20 people, with His Excellency the President. In Parliament, you're over 500 members of Parliament. Each one of you has like 1 minute to discuss. Now, what kind of discussions will you have? What interventions will you make in 2 minutes? You get? And then it is an independent arm of government, which is legislature or Parliament. But here you are actually, by extension, part of the cabinet, the executive, because you are with the chairperson of the NRM party, the mighty NRM party, which is leading government, yeah. And so you have other regional leaders that you're seated with, discussing at regional level, at national level, things that are going to benefit the Wananchi back in the villages. So I think with the kind of exposure I have, this is the time for us to go where His Excellency is, because we need to bridge the gap between the Wananchi down, the young people down, the women down, the veterans, the elderly, the people in business down, with His Excellency. So we are seeing that there's a disconnection. Here the President is doing a lot day and night, talking about the money economy, talking about socio-economic transformation of our country, peace and security, but down here no one is talking about that. Are members of Parliament doing that? Probably yes, but I would wish to see this being done, formally being done, not periodically, but sequentially. You get it? And which our current leadership is not doing. Probably they have done in the past. But right now, I would wish to see that regionally we converge meetings. We converge together, convene meetings with young people and say, what do you want to see now that we have NRM manifesto to be implemented for the next 5 years? So we as the people of Uganda in the East, what do you want to see out of the manifesto implementation? That discussion does not occur at parliamentary level. That discussion occurs at regional SEC level, because we're looking at implementation not of government programs, but of manifesto, the NRM manifesto, onto which people of Uganda have voted His Excellency the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, into leadership.